This presentation is brought to you by the Beljanski Foundation. Over 50 years of research towards curing cancer the natural way.
So, weight loss and wellness, what's going on? Let me give you a little background on me. My name is Dr. Steve Hoody. I'm a chiropractor and a nutritionist. And at the ripe old age of 22, I was on my way to medical school. I was an athlete. I was running over 100 miles every week. I thought I was in top of the world, in great shape. And then by age 23, something started to fall apart. I got tuberculosis, I got liver disease, and my immune system tanked. And within 6 months, the doctors gave me about 6 months to live. And I was frightened, I was shocked, I was stunned, what do I do? And no matter whom I seemed to visit in New York City, this was years ago, they didn't seem to know what to do, and they said, you're just not going to make it. And I was not willing to accept that, so I decided, well, I'm going to start studying and trying to find out, what can I do? I want to save my life, and if I make it, I want to help people. So I embarked on a journey that took 4.5 years. 4.5 years before I knew I wasn't going to die. I was pretty sick. Fortunately, what I learned during that time, which at the time I thought was the worst time of my life, and of course it's become probably the best time of my life, because I learned so much. I learned how the body truly functions. And it was not how I thought it was. I grew up in a medical family, and I was involved all the time with medicine, and it's not really how the body functions. Medicine is very important, but health is also very important. You know, they're not really the same. So what I'm going to talk to you about a little bit today of a little bit of what we learned. I got a master's in nutrition trying to save my life. I worked with people, helping them to lose weight. I also then became a chiropractor because I thought it was the best education to learn all the bits and pieces and help people. And it was a chiropractor who also helped me get to the other side and become healthy. By the way, if you want to know if I made it, I made it. I made it through, okay? Thank you. So why weight loss? I'm a nutritionist and chiropractor. Why weight loss? I practiced chiropractic in multidisciplinary settings in multiple offices throughout Manhattan for years. But little by little, year after year, as we were seeing patients for weight loss, more patients came in, and America became more and more obese every year. Back when I started, about 40 or 45% of Americans were overweight. As we stand right now today, 74% of Americans are overweight. It's out of control. The World Health Organization says that 75 to 80% of all chronic illness is caused from a faulty metabolism. We got a problem. And our metabolism is a huge problem. And if we don't handle that problem, it's going to get worse. So what I'm going to go over today is talking about some of the basic fundamental things that we must look at in order to make sure our metabolisms work well, to be healthy, to be well, to lose weight or gain weight, but to get our bodies well. I'm 65 years old right now, and I want to let you know that my body has gotten very healthy. I have energy and stamina like I never believed I could have had. We do testing in our office that measures, and I'm constantly making sure my body is functioning properly, and that's one of the things I learned is you've got to be able to measure and remeasure to make sure your body's working properly. Because you can feel good for a long time, but you can lose your health and not know it. Because the body can still pump endorphins. No, I'm okay, when maybe you're not okay. We measure things, for example, like muscle mass, white fat mass, which is the fuel fat, brown fat mass, which is the good fat we need for our brain regeneration, for our nervous system to be covered in the proper fat, for all of our 80 trillion cells to have the right fat so that all the good things are kept in the cells and all the bad things are kept out. We measure metabolic rate. We measure calcium levels, crucial in the body. We measure metabolic age. A proper, and I stress the word proper, a proper bioimpedance machine today can actually tell you, FDA approved, how old the cells in your body are. And I can tell you the patients in our office, as long as they're over 20, 30 years old, always end up with a much younger cell age than they came in. We have patients who are 50, whose cell age is 30. We have patients who are 69, who are cell age is 38. We have patients who are 73 with a cell age 47. I'm 65, my cell age is 27. And it's not because I'm working out and doing everything properly all the time. I haven't been to a gym in 5 years. I'm not saying that I don't work out and exercise some. Your body is engineered and is supposed to be healthy, and our job is to get it back there. So what we do in our programs, and what's different, is we first look at what's working and what's not working with your body. We do a proper analysis, first of all. And most of that we do with a bioimpedance, a proper bioimpedance machine. We do blood work and other analyses as we need. But to find out what's working and not, and just on the basics. And then we immediately start working to get your metabolism working better again. In many cases, not all, but in many cases, we use a type of protocol originated originally by Dr. Simeon's HCG protocol. We don't use the HCG, we use a homeopathic form now that actually is more advanced and works better, but we use a similar protocol, and it kickstarts your metabolism. You got this gland called the hypothalamus that's like the air traffic controller. It's there to make sure everything's working right, kind of like a thermostat in your home. You know, if it's too cold, you turn it up, it gets a little warmer. If it's too warm, you turn it down, it gets a little cooler. We have one of those for our metabolism. It's in our brain. It's called the hypothalamus. Only we have a problem today. Over the last 4 decades, as people were becoming heavier and heavier, something else was happening. More and more toxic chemicals were legally being released into the environment. And those graphs mirror each other. So 40 years ago, where there were some 5,000 toxic chemicals legally released into the environment, that number increased decade by decade, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. Today it's over 82,000. Certified synthetic toxic chemicals legally released into our environment. It's in the lights, it's in our clothes, it's in the detergents, in our hair, it's everywhere. And our body reacts to those and creates inflammation, which slows down metabolism. And that's why those two graphs, toxins and being overweight, have gone hand in hand. So where 20, 30 years ago, it was possible to help a patient eat a little better, exercise more, and they could lose weight and keep it off. Very impossible today, very unlikely today, because we have to handle kickstarting that metabolism again. And we kickstart the metabolism. Now we can get the metabolism back where it's supposed to go. Get the body burning that white fuel fat, increase that muscle mass regularly, and make sure that we keep the brown fat up. And now we've got a working metabolism, then we can move on. So we have a 3-phase process we use. Phase 1 is getting that metabolism kickstarted again and getting your body burning that white fat the way it's supposed to. And when you're burning the white fat, what happens is you stop burning your muscle. The most important, we need plenty of muscle. The more muscle we have in our body, the more fat we burn, because muscles are fat-burning machines. So regardless of what your problem is, or what concerns, or what's not working in your body, or what's not just right yet, when your metabolism kicks in and works properly, your body can metabolize whatever you take in, whether it's vitamins, minerals, exercise, or just letting your body regenerate. So you burn off that fat, your muscle mass goes up, now your body can start repairing and healing. We've had patients spend $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 on things like stem cell, which is wonderful therapy. But if your body's not functioning very well, you can't really use it well. And then a year and a half later, once their metabolism is working beautifully, they do the same procedure and they have miraculous results. Because you've got to have a functioning metabolism to make sure the other things work right. So our 3 phases are: get your metabolism kickstarted, number 1. Number 2 is to make sure your metabolism is working the way it's supposed to. And how do we do that? By monitoring and rechecking and make sure we're guiding you in a very individualized way to make certain your metabolism is working the way it's supposed to. And then finally, once your metabolism is working, your body's down to close to its ideal size, shape, and weight, now we look at how do you maintain that. And today we are so lucky because DNA testing today is now finally reasonably cost, and we've tested enough snippets of DNA that we can actually analyze your DNA and find out what does your body really need and create a customized blueprint for your own body to maintain your health for the rest of your life. Because the average person in this room is probably going to live to be about 100. But you have a choice to be healthy up to 100, or we can kind of survive. I kind of like being the healthy and I kind of just going for it. I don't want to die of a disease. I want to die of just going and going. I couldn't go anymore. So there's a misunderstanding with DNA testing, though, which I want to clear up too. You are not your DNA. As Time Magazine's cover in January 11th, 2010 says, you are not your DNA. Your DNA is your potential. Now, of course, some things in DNA you can't change. If you have blue eyes, you're probably not going to get brown eyes. You know, if you're 5'4", unlikely you're going to be 6'3". But you can change a lot of things in your DNA, like how healthy your body is, if you're going to potentially get certain diseases or not, and how your body absorbs. But the way that's changed is by you find out where your DNA is, and you analyze and create a lifestyle, and you check and recheck as you're going month by month to make certain that's working. Because you never want to do anything, exercise, drink more water, take any vitamins, or change your diet without being able to recheck and find out in your body, is it working? It's nice to feel better, but we want to make sure it's actually working. Because at age 22, I felt great, but my body wasn't functioning properly. And I made a commitment I would never make that mistake again, to say, well, I feel okay, but we want to know. Today, we have the ability to know what's going on in my body. So in our office, every single one of our patients knows exactly how their body is functioning. They know what's working, they know what's not working, and then we help them with guidelines to figure out what to do to make it better, and then we recheck it. Because we don't want to ever do anything or recommend anything unless the patient's getting positive changes from it, so they can actually get much healthier. Okay, make sense? I know I'm not supposed to be talking to the audience, but I have to. I'm about the audience. So a couple more things I want to go over, which is, so there are some common myths I'm just going to touch on a little bit. We've been taught a lot of things that are not actually completely true. When we're healthy and living a proper lifestyle, our body can do things beyond what we're originally taught. For example, it's been come many, many times today in this workshop. People are talking about when they should eat, and I shouldn't eat after 6 p.m. So that's a very common myth that's wrong. When should you eat? When can you eat most of your calories? I can tell you I eat probably 80% of my calories after 9 p.m. when I get home at night. And I can tell you that most of the time human beings have been on the planet, they ate most of their calories after sundown. Why? Once the sun went down, what did they have? Candles maybe? So you got your work done or your play done during the sunlight hours, and then after that, that's when you sat down, you ate, you hung out, you told stories, and you went to bed. We're genetically engineered for that. So it's okay. We just need to get our bodies functioning properly so they can in fact metabolize and burn the food then. That's actually healthy. Why do we have cravings at night? Because that's when our body says, I'm relaxed now, feed me, let's go, I can digest this. So when you get your body healthy, it's okay. You know, it can work. Another is counting calories. We're not a machine. We have a physical body, we're also spiritual. So our physical body, spiritual, makes us more than just a machine. We're not like a coffee maker or a sewing machine or a lawnmower or an automobile. We're much more than that. And when your body is functioning properly, if you eat more, you'll burn off more calories also. I'm not saying you should eat more and more every day. I don't mean that. But we're not, I'll count my calories. We don't need to count calories. We can instead look at quality of food and quality of when we eat and how we enjoy it to make sure we're metabolizing it properly. So food becomes something to be very, very much enjoyed and celebrated. And partying is okay. And overindulging is okay once in a while even, as long as you do it in the right format. That can be very positive. Again, I want to reiterate, one of the most important things today is dealing with the unbelievable amount of toxins in our environment. And we have to do that by analyzing our body and seeing how it's affecting our body. We're not going to change the toxins, and soon there's going to be a lot more than there are now. My mission, I have 4 kids from age 20 to age 6, and I do not want my kids to inherit a planet where everyone's overweight. So my mission over the next 20 years is to make a huge difference, and with everyone here helping also, to make sure that we change that. Together, everyone wants healthcare, but together we need to unite to make sure we have the right format to take care of this as a very large group, so that healthcare is just common sense and everyone's looking at their health first and foremost. And we're getting healthier and healthier as a nation on a regular basis. And then with that, we have less disease, we have less problems, just like the World Health Organization said. 75 to 80% of all chronic illness is from a faulty metabolism. We fix the metabolism, and those problems go way, way down. I want to thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak and to be at this event today. We're here to help anyone to make sure you can understand what's going on with your body. And that's it. Look forward to seeing you all. Thank you so much.